Okay, so how can you enjoy the holidays as a Careblazer? This is recently what I talked to my Care course members about. We had a special holiday bonus training, and I want to share with you some of those takeaways in hopes that you might be able to enjoy some of this holiday. I do believe it is possible to have some moments of joy, but we have to make sure we're not working against ourselves, that you aren't doing some of the things I see a lot of Careblazers do that just makes your situation worse. So that's what I want to share with you in today's video. Hi, I'm Natali Edmonds. I'm a board-certified geropsychologist, and this is Careblazers TV. Before I jump into today's video, I do want to share with you that my very popular Make Caregiving Easier challenge is now open. At the time this video goes live, for the next few days, you can join in my 10-day challenge. It is what I believe the quickest, most powerful way to totally transform your caregiving experience. So if you're looking for some extra help to get you through this holiday season and you want to set yourself up for as much success as possible in the new year, now is the time. Go to www.makecaregivingeasier.com or click the link below in this video. I hope to see many of you inside this challenge. All right, let's hop back into today's video. So first, there are some common challenges that get in the way of being able to enjoy the holiday season. Let's talk about some of those right now. Number one is comparing your current holiday season to holidays of the past, especially holidays when you are not in this caregiving role. Most of the time, when you compare your current holiday season to holidays before caregiving, it just brings you down. It makes you feel sorry for yourself. It makes you feel sad. So my first recommendation is Careblazer, notice when you're doing that. Your brain will do it automatically. That's okay. But when you notice you're doing that and you're comparing how things are now to how things were in the past, catch yourself and just bring yourself back to the present moment. We want to catch ourselves when our brain automatically starts going to places and doing things that don't serve us and just make us feel worse. I also want you to remember that most of what you are seeing online and on TV and what people are talking about, those are their highlight reels. Those are their best days, their best situations, right? Most people aren't posting all of the behind the scenes and challenges going on in their life. They're posting what they want you to see. So please keep that in mind too as you're scrolling through Facebook or Instagram and you're seeing all these lovely family gatherings and photos. It would be very easy to assume everybody else has everything going perfectly and your situation is nothing like that. Please keep in mind what you're seeing is not the complete picture. Okay, so that's number one. Let's catch yourself from comparing current holidays to past holidays. Number two, one of the biggest mistakes or challenges I see Careblazers make is because they can't do exactly what they want, they don't do much at all. Because you may not be able to celebrate the holidays ideally, exactly like you want, your wishes, what's ideal is not possible, you may not make any effort to do anything because what you would like and what is possible are very far apart. I was giving some hard truth to my Care course members recently, and I was basically telling them what's ideal has passed. That ship has sailed, right? The most ideal holiday season for you probably doesn't involve caring for a loved one with dementia, dealing with the challenges and health issues that come along with that. It's probably nowhere in that, right? So what's ideal is no longer possible, but what is the next best thing? What is the best case scenario for your situation? Again, this is about catching your brain when it's going down this road of, well, I'd like to be able to go visit family, but that's not possible. Or I'd like to be able to go host a nice holiday gathering where all my friends and family come over like they used to in the past, but that's not possible because my loved one gets really upset when people come over, right? Notice your brain doing that. But just because certain things are no longer possible doesn't mean other things are not. So I want you to ask yourself, what is something you would enjoy? What is something you would like to do this holiday season that is possible? Maybe you need to make some adaptations. Maybe you need to tweak it and change it a bit, but you still can do some things. Don't throw away all possibilities because the main things that you would like are no longer possible. For some of you, you may enjoy having parties over, decorating, cooking, going all out. right? And given your loved one maybe not being able to participate, maybe not wanting to bathe or shower, maybe being rude or saying inappropriate things to people who come to visit, those things may not be something that you want to try this holiday season. But what could you try? I want you to ask yourself these questions. What is the best case scenario that I can do in this situation right now, in my caregiving situation? What could you do? What could you enjoy? What is in your control? That is another thing I talked a lot to my care course members about during our special holiday training was what is currently in your control. It is really easy to focus on all the things outside of your control, what your loved one says, what they do, what other people say, what other people do. All of those things we love to focus on, yet we can't do much about them. What can we do? Focus on what's in your control and then take the steps that you want that will bring you a little bit of joy and pleasure this holiday season. So for example, one of my care course members, she usually hosts family from out of town. They come out of town, they visit her, and she usually does all the tree decorating, the cooking, all the hosting, did everything on her own. Her husband is at a point in his dementia where he is no longer able to help her with all of those preparations. And this Careblazer was feeling very overwhelmed and stressed that nothing is prepared for the holidays, yet the family members are still coming in from out of town. So one of the things that we talked about is what is absolutely important for you? What is something that still brings you joy, right? That you still want to make sure you can do, but take the pressure of everything else off. That's another thing I want you to take away from this. You don't have to do everything, but you can do some things. Take the pressure of how things looked in the past off of yourself. Ask yourself, how do you want them to look now? So for this particular Careblazer, we talked about what is super important for you. What is something that you want to make sure happens? And she mentioned she really wants to make sure the tree gets decorated. And we talked a little bit about that. And she says for her, it's her great-grandson or great-grandson who comes really loves the tree and the lights. But given her advanced age, she could not get the tree. She could not set it up on her own. She needed some help and her husband was no longer able to help her. So we talked about, well, what is in your control? What could you do in this situation? And she came up with the idea of her family coming into town. They come into town about 2 days before the holidays. Could they participate in helping put up the tree? Even with her grandson, could they help with decorating it, maybe turning it into a new family tradition, maybe having some hot cocoa or drinks and cookies while you decorate the tree, putting on some nice music? All of a sudden, something that was super stressful and she was feeling really bad and down on herself for not being able to do, she was now able to think, how can I turn this into possibly a new tradition, right? So her challenge was to reach out to some family members who were coming into town and ask if they would be willing to have a tree decorating party with her when they showed up. Careblazer, that's the kind of approach I want you to take. Again, remember, the ideal situation is no longer possible. What is the next best case scenario? Get very clear on what's important to you, what you really want to happen during the caregiving season that you have control over, and then take the steps that you can to have control over that situation and to make that come to life. All right, and one final thing I want to mention, because I see this being a big challenge for a lot of Careblazers. Your loved one may not be able to fully participate in everything. Your loved one might not even be fully showing their interest or engaging or having conversations, but that doesn't mean they're not enjoying themselves. So often we interpret the situation through our minds, which are fully aware of what's going on. We might be fully aware that our loved one is no longer having fun conversations with the grandkids, or our loved one is no longer helping with the cooking or decorating the cookies, right? But don't mistake that as a sign that they are not enjoying themselves. Your loved one may very well be enjoying the beautiful, colorful lights. Your loved one might very well be enjoying eating the cookie you bring to them. Your loved one might be enjoying watching the kids, even if they're not having a conversation with them, right? So we just have to be very clear that when we're viewing this situation and how our loved one is doing, we are not only viewing it from our full awareness, we're also taking the time to look at our loved ones, pay attention to their nonverbals, pay attention to what they're trying to communicate. They may very well be having a good time, even if they're not fully participating to the extent that they used to in the past and to the extent that everybody else in the family is participating, okay? Careblazer, I am challenging you to be kind to yourself this holiday season. Be kind in the thoughts you're having to yourself about this holiday season. Be kind in the pressure and expectations you're having yourself during this holiday season. And Careblazer, you survived 2020. You survived 2021 as a Careblazer, right? You're gonna survive this holiday season. That's without a doubt. My goal is for you to actually have some pleasurable moments, right? And the way that you're going to get to some of those pleasurable moments is by letting go of some of these things that your brain is going to do automatically that don't serve you, that are going to keep you down. Now, if you're looking for more practical advice in terms of how to set holidays up so that your loved one is more likely to enjoy them or to have more success, or how to prep family members and visitors for interacting with your loved one with dementia, I did a video on some more practical holiday tips. I'm going to link to that up here and below. I did this video last year. All of the tips are still relevant. So be sure to watch that one as well. I hope to welcome a lot of you into the Make Caregiving Easier Challenge, which will be starting on Friday, December 10th. And Careblazer, if you know of another Careblazer who's struggling this holiday season that you think would benefit from this video, please share it with them. Just click the share button, copy the link, text it to them, email it to them. Let them know that there's help out there for them. I would really appreciate it. I am wishing all of you a beautiful holiday season, some peace, some joy. I'll be back next Sunday with a new video. As always, Careblazer, keep up the great work. Bye.